You probably know Nestle as the world's leading producer of rabbit advertising.
I used to drink this growing up.
But what you probably don't
But
know
now I'm
is
like
that Nestle
lactose
is the
intolerant,
largest food
I think.
company
I don't know.
in the world.
Probably not.
I use the term food lightly as their products mostly consist of powdered and processed food-style tribute acts to the real thing. For reasons unrelated to that though, some people on the internet think Nestle is worse than Hitler, Hiroshima and hangnails combined.
I don't think they're worse.
But why?
But they're pretty bad.
Let's find out. 150 years and over 2,000 brands and corporate acquisitions later, dried udder squirt is still one of Nestle's biggest moneymakers. The formula industry's market value is projected to reach $119 billion by 2025. And even better than that, companies make 23 cents for every dollar they make in sales. And what's more, it's crap. Every medical
readily
professional
available.
will tell you the formula is vastly inferior compared to Mum's old-fashioned brand. Unless, of course, that medical professional is being paid
safe, right?
Nestle. In the 1970s, Nestle was expanding its formula market globally, but it ran into a problem, or rather, two big problems.
What?
The humble breast was Nestle's biggest, bounciest competitor, so they did what any multinational conglomerate would do and began undermining this basic...
I don't know about you guys, but no amount of formula can compete with the voluptuousness of the of nature's milkies.
And necessary human function. Nestle launched an aggressive global marketing campaign which encouraged mothers to swap...
What the fuck? Are they suggesting that natural breast milk is worse than their processed evaporated milk? That is so wrong. Yikes!
Swap the breast for the bottle. But what was more morally dubious was that Nestle were paying medical professionals to promote their powder.
Yo, you wonder why
Nestle hired a legion of saleswomen to dress up as
colored well, this is it is a time before, you know. But yo, they wonder why people think they're evil. What the hell?
And give out free medical advice as well as free samples of their product, making them dependent on Nestle's expensive product in order to, you know, keep their child alive.
What the fuck? This is like selling. This is literally like selling drugs to, like, gateway drugs, and keep getting people addicted.
This through home visits and even on maternity wards. Nestle's uniformed pushers were slinging more powder than Pablo Escobar. They would also suggest that their artificial product was better than the real thing, which wasn't just weapons-grade bollocks, it was also extremely dangerous.
And illegal.
Breast milk contains very important sciencey stuff that helps prevent pneumonia, infection, and malnutrition, which are much higher risks in countries that don't have regular access to clean water.
And might I add how strange it is that humans consume cow milk when humans themselves, or the mothers, can actually just produce the milk themselves, right? Has that been observed in other animal behaviors where other animals would consume milk from a different species? Because that milk, a cow's milk, is formulated to encourage growth in a literal cow, like a calf, right? And I don't know about you guys, but when I last checked, a human baby is significantly different in biology than a calf. So for us to consume milk that's formulated for a cow is already super weird. And here they are dehydrating it and selling it to us and saying that it's more healthy than human milk, which is for humans. That is so evil and wrong.
I.e., all the countries that Nestle was sending their nurses to. As bad as PR headlines go, dead babies is pretty much unbeatable unless it's preceded by the phrase, a gigantic pile of. And that's exactly what Nestle and other formula companies were contributing to. Naturally, people got real mad about this. Protests and boycotts, one notably ran by War on Want, really got worked up. Nestle's upper management...
Oh, really? I'm sorry.
a US Senate hearing to account for the multiple,
still going strong,
dead kids.
Well, what do you feel is your corporate responsibility to find out the extent of the use of your product in those circumstances.
Like, before Nestle was a thing, right? You'd expect, if this was true, there would have been piles upon piles of evidence that human breast milk was causing dead babies. Before Nestle came along, because they weren't here at the dawn of time when man started walking the earth. Like, what is this garbage that they're trying to sell? Like, and do people not realize? Well, I guess people do realize, that's why there was a backlash, but like, damn, considering how many people actually bought into their lies, man, that's pure evil right there.
In the developing part of the world, do you feel that you have any responsibility?
We can't have that responsibility, sir.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
But in 1981,
True.
the World Health Organization made it Nestlé's problem by passing the International Code of Marketing Breast Milk Substitutes, better known in the community.
During the
as
vital
the
stages of
code.
human life, a child, a baby.
These guidelines were pushed on Nestlé and other formula companies, and that's why subsequent commercials have to feature these little pro-booby asides.
Make it gentle, easily digestible. No formula is more nutritious. Remember, breast milk is best.
Since this colossal dose of bad PR, Nestlé have done their best to waft away that dead baby smell. They even funded this pro-boob propaganda supergroup known as the Super Babies.
That is
Super babies on board.
disturbing. Yeah, no thanks.
Promote the good still at it, they've just gotten a bit sneakier. While formula sales have stalled in many countries, it is soaring in others, especially in Southeast Asia and the Pacific, which is coincidentally where Nestlé are focusing their marketing.
It's
Save the
true.
Children released an expansive report in 2018 detailing how Nestlé and other formula companies are still bribing healthcare
It's
workers.
true, especially in Asia. A lot of people prefer. I mean, I don't know. I don't have the statistics, but I do know that for a fact that some of my relatives do actually prefer the formula than actually the real thing. Even when not for babies, like they just have it in their coffee or whatever as well. It's kind of weird.
Still giving out free samples in medical settings
'Cause it's
and
inferior.
advertising
It
in
tastes
hospitals.
worse.
Nestlé are breaking the law, but only in countries where they are likely to get away with it. Nestlé is also the world's leading producer of plastic bottles that they kindly fill with a free sample of tap water. But hey, what's wrong with that?
Is this
You've
the
got
thing where
to
they try to
stay
patent
hydrated.
water?
And have you
Yeah.
tried carrying water around without a bottle? It's a hassle. Well, as with formula, Nestlé's main business strategy seems to be making you pay for things that you should already have for free. In 2005, Nestlé's former CEO got into some hot water over comments he made suggesting that access to the wet stuff wasn't a human right.
Die eine
Yeah.
Anschauung, extrem würde ich sagen, wird von einigen von den NGOs vertreten, die darauf pochen, dass
He said that accessing fresh drinking water was not a human right, and it's more of a privilege that you have to pay for. How fucked is that? An essential resource to life, like water. We're not talking about fancy food here, we're talking about water.
das Wasser zu einem öffentlichen Recht erklärt wird. Das heißt, als Mensch sollten Sie einfach Recht
This
haben,
fuckhead.
Wasser zu haben.
Really.
Das ist die eine Extremlösung.
He rolled back those comments about half a decade later on Nestlé's official YouTube channel, where he suggested that humans did deserve water, but they would preferably buy it from him.
Fuck
Let
off.
me make it clear from the beginning. I've always supported the human right to water.
You support your
Despite
wallet,
mountain
dude.
logos and the local springs mentioned in their brand names, Nestlé gets most of its water from the same place your bathroom faucet does, the ground. In North America, they tap into municipal water supplies, paying about $10 for every tanker of high-quality H2O. And once they wrap that water up in plastic, that $10 tanker is suddenly worth $50,000. Nestlé is pulling Belle Delphine scam
Oh,
on
God.
a global scale. They
Yeah.
get such great deals on
Gamer
their
girl
water
bath
because
water.
they capture it from states like Maine and Texas, which operate under absolute capture laws, which say you can suck the ground empty provided you own the dirt on top of it. This has proved controversial with people who need that water to live, especially in states suffering from water shortages.
Yo,
In
that's
famously dry Mount
fucked.
California, there's no absolute capture allowances, but Nestle were found to be drawing 54 million gallons more than their permit allowed. A permit...
Wait, what the fuck? So let's say, for example, we had an absolute capture right here, near where I'm living, right? And our local water supply is also here. They can literally drain that local water supply and then sell it back to us? That's fucked. Man, what? Did people who put these things in place not realize how exploitable that is?
Expired 2 decades ago. Is this Nestle's fault though? I mean, on this one I'm not particularly convinced. The company might be sucking America drier than a chapped-lipped hooker at a Nevada truck stop, but the government's letting them do it.
Yeah,
For the
because
most
it's a
part,
profit
they're
for
not
both sides.
breaking the law. At least not in America.
Like
in
what I said,
2013, in Pakistan, it
technically,
was found that Nestle were
like,
diverting
lawfully right
free,
is not morally
clean
right.
water away from thousands of people who were forced to drink sludge water because they couldn't afford to have it sold back to them in bottled form.
Is that how fucked that is?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That is
When they're
really
not
bad.
stealing water, they're polluting it. Just last month in France, a Nestle-owned powdered milk factory farted a load of biological sludge into a river and killed over 3 metric tons of fish.
Yo!
You know your body count is getting out of control.
But here's the thing, they have the money to just keep those lawsuits going. Even the lawsuits they
Okay,
can't win.
The water and formula stuff is pretty dicey, but ultimately the reason
Like, the
I
law
love
is
Nestle
heavily skewed
is
towards the
their
rich. It's
variety of
fucked.
confectionery products. And there's nothing wrong with them, right? Right?
I heard about this too. This is so fucked.
Around
Yikes.
the year 2000, Nestle, Cadbury's and Mars got in some hot cocoa for using forced, trafficked and child labour to harvest cocoa beans for their chocolate brands. By child
Hello.
slaves, took all of that and used it to make their flagship chocolate product, the Kit Kat bar. That way they could slap an independently verified fair trade sticker on it and be seen to be doing something about the problem they were causing. This label did not extend to most of their chocolate, or even to the vastly
So they're
superior
basically
and chunky,
employing
which remained
child labour
crunch-tacular with the severed limbs
and
of
then
trafficked children.
doing a workaround
But as
loophole
of this
to get
year,
away with
they
it.
decided to pack that in too.
They're fucking
they have
evil,
concluded
dude.
their partnership with Fairtrade to focus on their new partnership with the Rainforest Alliance and work on sustainable cocoa farming. As in 2020, it's more fashionable to appear environmentally correct than ethically correct, and apparently, you can't do both. It's also much cheaper and more achievable. And this is just proof that Nestle were never really worried about
Piece
the
of
whole
shit company, jeez.
slavery
But it sucks
thing.
that so much they
were
produce
just
so much
worried
different products
about
that we are
what
all
you,
dependent
the
on.
chocolate
It's really
buying
hard to not
public,
find a Nestle product
thought
around.
about it. Nestle are not a food company. They are a natural resource company with chocolate and cat food divisions. Their major strategy is depriving people of necessities and then selling them an expensive alternative.
Hey, Zenik. New Year's with some child slavery stories. Yeah, we're talking about Nestle here, dude. The very company who said that water was not a human right because, you know, they sell bottled water to us. So fresh water was not, you know, it wasn't a God-given right for us to have fresh water unless we pay for it.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching. This one was a bit of a bummer. Sorry about that. But next
It was
week,
highly
I'm gonna be
informative.
doing
Thank
something
you.
a little bit more chilled out. It's either going to be about
I knew
water,
most of this, but I didn't know all of the
Tetris,
details, so that
or
was interesting.
handshakes. I haven't decided yet, but if you have a preference, tell me in the comments of this video. Just
By the
type
way, I love the hair.
water, Tetris, handshakes, whatever your preference is. Anyway, bye-bye.
Oh, breakfast cereal. That might be a good topic.